Today we got this Bolens lawn tractor that turns over just fine, but it doesn't want to come to life. So in this video, we're going to track down the problems, what it takes to get this tractor running again. This is exactly the kind of machine that I love because the engine cranks but won't start. It usually just comes down to a few main things: fuel, spark, compression, or timings. Instead of just throwing parts at it, we're going to go through this step by step and figure out what is wrong. This has a 15.5 overhead valve. Brakes engine. Should be pretty simple. Just look at the fuel tank. Absolutely none. So we're going to have to put some fuel in there. This parking brake is on. Let's see if we can get a crank out of this. Nothing. So what's going on back here? Well, that right there. Let's connect that really quick. All right, I got that all connected now. Let's see what it's saying now. Parking brake is on, shouldn't have to worry about that. If there is a seat switch, I'm sitting on it. And nothing. All right, let's check this battery. This battery is reading absolutely 0. So I have this hooked up to my battery charger, and I think it's a little low. We're going to see if we can try to charge this thing. It's going straight to float. Means this amps are too low. Try to do a battery recondition. I doubt this will work, but it's worth a shot. I had this battery set on boil all last night. It's holding a little bit of a charge, but we'll see if it's enough to spin this thing over. So let's see here. There we go. It doesn't sound great, but it's spinning over. So that means we can check for spark and compression, and then we probably got to dig into this carburetor. All right, here's the spark plug. It doesn't look too bad. It's a Champion RC12YC, pretty common plug. Let's check for spark. Oh yeah, we got spark. Now it's time to test for compression. Let's plug this in. All right, let's see what we got for compression. Why are you showing nothing? Ooh. Well, that's not a good sign. We're showing absolutely nothing as far as compression goes. Probably have a look inside the valve, see if one of the valves is stuck or dropped. But in order to do that, we gotta get this whole hood off. So let me get started doing that. Get that out of the way. Would you look at that? Pushed up, it's like a transformer. All right, let's get this valve cover off and see what's going on. All right, we got, some typical oil in here. Let's spin this over. That's down. That's why right there. Look at that. Look how much valve lash that is. That's an insane amount. And that's why it's not working. So right now we're in the intake stroke. This should be fully closed, which it is. Oh, wow, that's an insane amount of free play there. We look up the spec on this and then we'll set the valve lash. All right, so the intake should be between 3 and 5, and this should be between 5 and 7. So we're gonna set this to 6. This is the exhaust here. Let's find our 6th thou here. Still got a good amount of slide here. Yep. Quite a bit of drag, but that's fine because we're right in between. Let's check our clearance again. 6 fits in there. All right, let's turn this over so the other valve is closed. The other valve is closed, which means this one should be open, which it is. Right now we're sitting at probably like 10 thou, and this should be between 3 and 5. So we're gonna set this at 4 thou. 4 thou does fit in there. It still feels a little loose though. There we go. All right, and now that we have that, let's test compression again. Still no compression. Oh, tried a different gauge, still 0 compression. Now we gotta get the borescope out and see what's going on inside. I don't see anything too crazy. Still see some cross hatching on the cylinder, which is good. Maybe we just got some stuck rings. That's completely possible. We're gonna spray some oil in here and see if that increases compression, because if it does, that means we got some stuck rings. Load it up. Absolutely nothing. The plot thickened. All right, here's what I think is going on. I'm not 100%. If we look in here, especially top-down view, you can see that this valve, and that might be why this one was so out of spec, is this exhaust valve might be hanging up. It doesn't seem like it's fully coming back all the way, so I think it's getting hung up on something. So I'm going to take this off and see if we can maybe get it unstuck, or if it's hanging up. I don't know. We're going to find out. Well, after doing all that work, I think we got to dig a little bit deeper. The valves did nothing. We still have no compression, so I think we got to dig deeper. Let's see here. See what we got. Well, any day now. Oof. Well, there is why this wouldn't seal all the way. One of the seals came off. Look at that. So not a head gasket, but I knew this valve wasn't sealing all the way down. I knew it. So we got to get this off and see if we can reseat this. This is the worst valve tool ever made. This is from DasBet. Don't buy it. It's absolutely awful. Just letting you know that now. If you're looking for a valve removal tool, this one is not good. This side thread's okay. The other side thread's absolutely awful. And pop out. Oh, we already got one side off. There we go. One side of the collar. There's the other one. All right, decompress and remove that. So our valve actually looks good. It's just the valve seat. We have a little bit of damage here. A little bit of damage here from this popping out. I'm thinking I can just reseat this in here, pop the valve back in, and we should be good to go. All right, that looks pretty flush to me. Let's get our valve back in. Oh yeah, that looks good. All right. Now for the fun part of putting our spring back in. There we go. Done and released. All right, now we can put this back on and then see if we have compression now. Far enough to where we can test compression again here. So let's see what we got. Hopefully this fixed it. Yeah, look at that. It's not anything crazy. It's 100 pounds of compression, which is a little bit of a worn out engine, but that is okay because this should run. So let's get the rest of this buttoned up and see if we can get this started. I think we got this together enough to at least see if it will fire. So from that, let's pour some fuel in here. Should be more than enough to get us going. Fuel on. Well, that's no good. Fuel just absolutely pouring. Well, we don't have any fuel pouring anymore, but our battery's definitely dead. See if it likes a little bit of ether. Oh, it would help if we had our spark plug plugged in. Wow. That was very dumb of me. Let's try it now. All right, so at least it popped off. Let's see if we can get it to start again. Well, something seems a little off. I'm just gonna go ahead and throw that out there. Since it will only start on starting fluid, I have a good feeling that this carburetor is probably pretty bad. You can already see there's some gunk right here in this corner. Let's get this apart and see what's inside. It's kind of loose. Just as I suspected. Oh, that's pretty gross. This thing would have never ran. That is awful. All right, let's see if we can get this float off. Pin out. Oh, at least that wasn't stuck, so that's a start. See if I can get this jet out. Oh, she's crunchy. I don't know. All right, that's a bigger jet in there. So I'm assuming this is the pilot, which is completely clogged. You guys have ever owned a Bolens tractor? Let me know. Probably not one like this, because this is a later model after they got bought out by MTD, not one of the old cool ones. Hit that like button if you've ever had a Bolens, and leave a comment below and let me know which one you guys had. There we go. That's just an emulsion tube. That's clear, but it's still pretty bad. We got to put this in the ultrasonic and see if we can get this cleared out. I mean, it's just literally tar. Drop the carb body in. Float. And the bolt. This run for about 10 minutes. Got everything back out of the ultrasonic. Look at that. Perfectly clean. Well, I mean, there's a little bit of corrosion in there that you can't get out. This looks great. Carburetor's back on. Let's just see if this thing will fire a little bit. Let's turn the fuel on. Oh, gotta hook the fuel line back up. All right, fuel line's back on now. We're ready to go. Fuel on. Let that fill up a little bit. All right, let's try it now. Spray something spicy in there, see if it'll go now. There we go. Oh, that might be why. Oh, silly me. The fuel shut off. If that's not getting power, it's basically shutting the fuel off completely to it. until you give it power, and then it comes back down. All right, and shut it down. There's a lot of oil burning off right now from us spilling oil everywhere. That's what this is. Let's get everything back together on this and then go take it for a little test drive to burn all this extra stuff off and to actually see if the gearbox works. A couple of things I should mention is this has the racing package. See that? That's 10 horsepower. This means it's probably going to leak oil, so that's good. Got this nice shifter knob here that's feels like it's made out of a ball. So this should be good. If you like small engine repairs, rescues, and revivals, hit that subscribe button. And if you've made it this far in the video, thank you for watching. I got a lot of content coming out. Check back every Friday for new content, and I'll see you next time.